All right, everybody. So, I went and saw Spider-Man No Way Home last night. It's such a surreal feeling that it's actually here. Just like, I don't know, maybe even over a year of, theories and potential leaks and everything. It's like, I can't believe in about an hour, I'm gonna actually know what happens in this movie. And I got to say that the movie was everything I wanted it to be. I don't know, I could not stop smiling throughout the whole movie, unless, emotional scenes were involved where your heartstrings are pulled on. The whole time you're watching it, you're just like, this isn't real. With all the villains, the first time Doc Ock shows up in the movie, it's pretty much the scene you know from all the trailers. But like, just to see him on screen, it's just like, whoa. Other than just being in awe of the movie was super awesome, very well shot. I thought there's a couple scenes, like I feel like there's a couple of what I hear some people call oneers. I don't know what the technical term is, just like where the camera will follow a person, like it never cuts. There's some really cool stuff there. I don't know, I just feel like it was shot differently than the other two. And it does feel different than the other two. It feels so much more heavier. With the whole secret identity thing, like, oh my goodness, they put Peter through the ringer in this movie. It is intense for him. And Tom Holland, ever since he's been Spider-Man, I've kept up with him, and I've always thought, he's a good actor. Like, I thought he was a really good actor. But in this movie, if you come out of this movie and you tell me Tom Holland is not a good actor, like, I don't know, you can't convince me. That fool acted his heart out. The whole cast is. I mean, Jacob Batalon as Ned is awesome. Zendaya as MJ kills it once again. And we all know that Benedict Cumberbatch owns Doctor Strange role. And not to mention Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, Jamie Foxx as Electro, and just about one of the biggest takeaways of this movie, Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. My gosh. He steps back into the role with more. From the moment he's on screen, you're just like, anytime he's there, it's just this eerie, like, ugh. The action is shot very cool. And like I said, there's, I want to say like 2 or 3 really heartfelt scenes where your emotions can be pulled for sure. And like, I don't know what more I would have wanted from it, without going into spoilers. The plot is pretty much that Mysterio ratted Spider-Man out. Life got hard for Spider-Man, Peter Parker, so he asks Doctor Strange to, verse and make it to where everyone just forgot that he was Spider-Man. And in doing so, Doctor Strange is like, yeah, everyone's gonna forget. He's like, it's been a pleasure knowing you. And Peter's like, well, not everyone needs to forget, But at this point, Doctor Strange is already doing the spell, and the spell just goes sideways and brings in everyone who knew he was Peter Parker, even from other universes. And that's where you get the villains. It just becomes this wild, such a wild ride. Like, you don't even know where it's going half the time. Like, I kept up with a whole lot of the stuff, and most of it was right, but there's some of it I was like, what is actually going on right now? Like, it's definitely my favorite Spider-Man movie. And it's real easy to say it because we just walked out of the theater and everything, but like, I cannot think of a movie that tops this movie. Like, Avengers Endgame was wild, but this might have been better. It's such a weird, oh, and it feels so weird saying it, because like, I know I'm in the headset because I just watched it, but it is so good. Totally 5 out of 5 stars. 5 out of 5. Absolutely. I'd like to talk about the spoilers now. So if you have not seen the movie, I would suggest clicking away, but definitely come back because there's a lot to talk about, because this movie gets wild. So, Now we're in spoiler territory. I know, like, the number one question that everyone wants to know: are they in it? And yes, Thomas Hayden Church and Rise Ivan do come back as the Lizard and Sandman. I was wondering in the trailers, because I never really showed them, and I was like, they don't even talk. Like, are they gonna be CGI the whole time? And the question's also yes. Like, they're pretty much CGI the whole time. But the voice actors do come back, and it was awesome. So I know that was like the number one question that everyone wants to know. Number two is that we officially have Charlie Cox in the MCU as Matt Murdock. We just got Kingpin and Hawkeye, and now we have Daredevil, or Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock. We have not seen the Daredevil costume, but he's definitely there. Oh, just warms my heart. I watched all the Netflix stuff like a couple months back because I knew that Daredevil had the potential of being in this movie, and I wanted to know everything, and I just fell in love with the show, and I cannot wait to see him come back. Spoiler number 3, very, very sad. We did lose Aunt May, and I was even wondering if Tom even had an Uncle Ben, because they don't really mention him a lot. And then at her graveside, there's not a Ben Parker beside her, and I was like, dang. But it was brought to my attention, because I was talking to my roommates, that there was like was it a briefcase that had the BP on it? So I guess he did. He must have just died earlier, because Aunt May also delivers the "with great power comes great responsibility" line. So it's like, maybe this person just never had an uncle, and she was single the whole time. Because they also do the thing at the beginning with all the legal trouble. They talk about how he's like, Peter Parker was entrusted to you. They didn't say to like you and your husband, but I don't know. It was touchy. One of the moments I cried. Very sad to see her go. I feel like it was too early. That's pretty much it for the spoilers. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, I forgot one. Yeah, Tom Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in the movie. Like, if that means anything to you, cool, I guess. For me, it was like, it was about the Lizard and Sandman coming back. Like, that's what I wanted to know. But obviously not. Obviously not. Andrew Garfield and Tom Maguire are in this movie, and it is just so surreal, you know. I grew up in a house where my parents did not care about superheroes. They did not watch PG-13 movies a lot in the house when I was there. So growing up, especially during Toby's stuff, I never got to see the movies. I remember seeing the trailers on TV and begging my parents to take me to see the movies, and they was always like, no, those are rated PG-13. Steven, you're 7. You know, like, Mom, you know? But as a kid, all the action figures, the posters, I don't know, anything a kid has, cups, light switch covers. Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, was Spider-Man. He's the Spider-Man that's on everything. The first movie I finally convinced my parents to let me go see was The Avengers, 2012. Finally. I was 12 years old and they finally let me go. And I think it's like a month later, The Amazing Spider-Man came out. Andrew was like, it's my first Spider-Man to watch. Like, I know that Toby had a big impact, just like throughout, like I said, as a kid, toys, merch, everything. But Andrew, like, he was the first, Spider-Man I saw come to life on a big screen. And people can talk as much crap as they want about The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And some of it's deserved, some of it. But it's not Andrew's fault. That's what I always have to say. Whatever it is you have a problem with, it's not Andrew's fault. Andrew kills it. Not to take anything away from Toby. Fans are very vocal about which Spider-Man they like the most. They're all good at their own thing. And leading up to this movie, me and my roommates did like a Spider-Man marathon. there's not a Spider-Man movie that I don't like. Like, I enjoy all of them. Spider-Man is just my favorite superhero. So, like, I have zero problems with any of the Spider-Man actors, you know? As a person who genuinely enjoys all three franchises, this movie was so wild and surreal. You get just, and pretty much all the banter you want between them. You get like the Toby's organic stuff, them talking about Uncle Ben and Gwen. You get to see, you know, Tom McGuire stop Tom from killing the Goblin, and like that's very Toby-ish. You get to see Andrew redemption. He captures MJ, and there's like the emotion you see in that. Oh my goodness! And to see the villains and the Spider-Man, to see them just step back into it is amazing. There's a joke in the movie where like Tom and Toby are talking and about what stuff they've done, and Andrew's like, "Oh, what?" He's like, "Oh, I'm so lame," you know. Definitely a meta joke that like people think that his franchise and he is not like as good, and Toby Maguire's like, "No, you're not. You're not lame." He's like, "Hey, look at me. You're not lame. You're amazing." Okay, and it's just so funny. And there's like a bit where like Toby's back is acting up, and just seeing all three Spider-Man swing together, land together, work together is just a dream come true, you know? That's everything you want it to be. Ned being able to just tap into magic was pretty wild, and they do like mention like him becoming evil and stuff, which I know he's a hobgoblin. But I don't know what they're setting Ned up to be with all the magic. It's weird. Pretty much the last spoiler I'm gonna talk about is that he does end up having to use the spell, make everyone forget. So by the end of the movie, not only do people forget he's Spider-Man, but people like don't even know he exists. Like he's at May's grave, and Happy walks up to him and is like, "So how'd you know her?" It's like, what? Like he's just been erased out of existence, and like this isn't just like the emotional toll this movie has. Wild. Like now the Vulture doesn't know who he is, and that was kind of like the thing at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming. Is like, if I knew who he was, he'd be dead already. You know, like I know who he is, but I'm gonna keep his secret safe because I respect him, and like, but now he doesn't. And we get, oh, praise Jesus, we get this just bright red and blue suit at the end. Like we don't get a clean shot at it, but it looks amazing. And it's Christmas time when it ends, so I think it lines up with Hawkeye pretty well. So I wouldn't be too surprised if there's a little reference to Spider-Man No Way Home in this next Hawkeye episode. But there's something really big I forgot to talk about. It's just because there's so much in this movie. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it. I would love to talk about the movie. As you can tell, like, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so leave a like, subscribe, check out my reactions to the trailers. I had like a first reaction video that we did straight out of the theater last night, no spoilers, all that. So thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all next time.